This conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. So today I'm going to cover one not related to automation, but it's just something related to process. What do you mean by Agile and Scrum? How exactly they are connected? And a lot of people are asking about, although I have a couple of videos on Agile interview questions and what do you mean by Scrum and everything. But in this video, I'll be covering a more practical examples what exactly we are doing in the industry in the project and what are different teams structures and how exactly scrum work, how exactly agile is, okay, the concept of agile and all those things. We will be talking about those things. Okay, so this is the extended version of my previous videos, but if you are really struggling that what do you mean by agile, what do you mean by scrum, so please watch this video and I'm pretty much sure that okay, you can crack easily any kind of interview and you can justify your agile experience and scrum experience at the time of interview. So no need to go to any typical blog or any particular site to understand the concept completely. We just watch this video and I'll try to make it more crisp, up to the point, and no theoretical thing. Whatever we are doing in the industry, I'll try my best to explain you the best thing. Okay, so let's start. So the topic wise, quickly I'll say that okay, topic wise we are covering what do you mean by agile and scrum. Okay, agile and scrum. So this is a topic name. So first we will talk about what do you mean by scrum. So scrum is, I would say, is a framework, guys. Remember this thing. Scrum is an agile framework actually. Framework means they define the process, they define the rules, the guidelines, the regulations, and everything. And within this particular framework, your team members, your whatever in which project you are, either it is dev, QA, other team members are there. They address the complex problem, they solve the complex problem, and they deliver the product, okay, with the highest possible value in a productive manner, right, and in a creative way. So that's why a Scrum framework is there. That okay, it's an agile framework. So remember this thing. If someone is asking you that okay, what do you mean by Scrum? So Scrum is agile framework. In this particular framework, different people, different team members, okay, they work together and they solve. Ultimate target is that okay, solve some complex problems. Okay, design some features like this and deliver the product in a okay, deliver the product in a best possible way within the time. This is a like this is my own okay structured definition of the scrum. Okay, product in the best possible way within the time frame. Okay, and important thing is with creative way. Okay, I would say in a creative way. Okay, so this is the definition of, I would say, okay, scrum. Then what do you mean by this? Scrum is always some features are there that this is very lightweight. First of all, like it's not like a typical waterfall model or okay, some other prototype frameworks and V model or something like this. First of all, it's very lightweight. It's easy to implement and simple to understand. So this is another concept of that. Okay, simple to understand, but it is difficult to master. It means everyone is having their own concept of you can customize at a different level this particular framework. You can, I mean, the process you can define according to your team members and everything, according to your project and everything. So that's why it's not that easy to master. It takes time to understand and to define the process properly. So okay, so that's why, because it's very new in the market and we should know that okay, hey, what are the different terminologies, what kind of different processes are there, and how to implement agile in the scrum. Okay, a scrum framework within the agile. So it's difficult to master, but once you comfortable with that, definitely it will okay help you a lot to deliver the product as soon as possible in the production. right? So these are the few requisites or characteristics, I would say. Lightweight, simple to understand, and difficult to master. So one thing you need to remember that Scrum framework, there are different activities, right? Remember this thing. This is a very complex, I mean, this is a very common thing, that what are different activities, okay, in Scrum. So first thing is that remember this thing, that we have a Scrum team is there, okay, activities and who all are going to participate. Then we have daily Scrum, okay, meetings are there, daily Scrum meeting. Third one is like we have sprint concept is there. Then we have the product. These are the terminology, these are the different activities. Okay, the product backlog. I'll talk about what do you mean by product backlog. One by one, we will talk about all these things. Then we have sprint backlog. Then we have, let's see, sprint planning meeting. Okay, what are different sprint planning and all those things, we will do that. Then we will have the sprint review meeting. Sprint review meetings are there. Okay, then we have sprint retrospective. Okay, meetings are there. We will talk about what do you mean by retrospective. And then the ninth one is, then finally we have refinement sessions. Okay, refinement meetings are there, or refinement sessions are there, right guys? So these are the important things you need to, okay, you should know. Okay, these are the different activities in Scrum and who all are there in your Scrum team. So in a Scrum team, so if someone is asking you what are the different people are there in a Scrum team, in a Scrum team we have your Scrum Master. I would say this is SM is the Scrum Master. We have PO is the product owner, and then we have the complete dev team along with the QA team. Okay, dev team and along with the QA team, like this. So this is the Scrum team structure. Remember this thing, in every Scrum team, Scrum Master is there, who is a certified Scrum Master. PO is there, who is actually writing the user stories and everything, and who is the owner of the product, all the deliverables, talking to the business, talking to the engineers, give the things to the engineers so that they can develop, they can write the test cases, they can execute the things, and then we can publish. So this entire thing will be handled by PO. Okay, okay. Now let's talk about one by one who all are these guys. So first let's talk about SM. SM means Scrum Master. What is the role of a Scrum Master? So the role of the Scrum Master is very important, guys. That this guy is very important in the team. This guy encourage face-to-face communication first of all. So whatever the face-to-face communication, okay, it is needed. There's accountability, and then checking that okay, if you block somewhere, this guy will unblock you. If you have dependency on some other product, okay. So communication wise, okay, accountability type, I would say like this. Accountability, okay, point of view. This guy is responsible for that. So ultimately, I would say this guy solves the problem for the team. Okay, if any other logistic issue or any other communication issue or something like this, and what should be fixed, and if any requirements are there, or I mean any need, if you need with respect to, let's see, I need to talk to some other team. I'm working in the payment team, but I need to talk to the add to cart team. So who is the developer over there? Okay, this guy will contact these guys and they will arrange, this guy will arrange a meeting with those guys, like this, right? So this guy, actually we say that okay, this guy solves the problem. Okay, such kind of problems. After that, this guy is also ensures, I would say this guy ensures one thing, the Scrum team, the entire team ensure that okay, the team is what? The team is functional, team is working, we are giving the deliverables, checking their productivity and everything. So I would say team is functional and productive. This is very important point. This guy will see that. This guy will arrange some meetings, arrange some workshops and everything, and some He will show you some games and everything so that you can be as a team. The team is functional, team is productive, right? Other than that, make sure that okay, this guy makes sure that team is following, I would say not following, following the guidelines, rules, okay, following the guidelines, the rules, the best practices, whatever the agile best practices are there throughout the organization within the project. Okay, we all are following the same practices and all, right? Other than that, it gives regular feedback also to the team, so that it will help them to grow, it will help them to improve the process, so it will give you the feedback and everything. So this is the concept of a scrum master. This guy generally it does all these typical work, but one thing you need to remember, guys, this guy is not a technical lead. So scrum master, I would say scrum master is not a tech lead. Remember this thing, he's not needed that okay, he's a tech guy, he should know about the technologies and all those things. No, he is not your team lead also. Okay, it's not about your QA team lead or dev lead or product manager or engineering manager. No, he is not your team lead. Remember this thing, he is not your manager also, not a manager. Remember this thing, he is not a manager also, and not even he is not a product owner or product manager as well, right? So this guy is what, this guy is okay, out of these things, not a tech lead, not a team lead, not a manager, not a PO and the PM, but this guy is master of Scrum. So I would say this guy is master of Scrum process. Okay, so remember this thing, the master of Scrum process is called Scrum Master. This guy is already certified, right? So this is about Scrum Master. Now let's talk about PO. PO means the product owner. What is the role of product owner? So the role of product owner is it provides the vision to the team, right? And it clears the communication this to the rest of the team that okay, hey, this is what we have to develop, this is what we have to deliver. So I would say in very general term, provides the vision, okay, for the team. This guy talks to different business stakeholders to get the requirement. This guy will talk to these guys and then get the requirement, write the user stories and everything like this. So this guy is a very smart guy who understands the business, who understands the product, who understands that what kind of business it is. Let's see, this guy is working in Uber, so he understands what kind of mobility services are there in Ola and Uber. If someone is working in, let's say, in Amazon or Walmart, this guy understands a typical e-commerce process like this, right? This guy is working in banking application or something like this, so this guy understands that okay, having the good knowledge on banking application or how exactly banks work and the financial institutes work and all those things. And this guy will talk to different stakeholders, collect the requirement, and this guy finally creates a backlog. Remember this thing, creates what? Creates a product backlog. Product backlog means this guy will create number of stories, number of backlogs, and will keep, this guy will keep storing these backlogs, right? And then we will pick, let's see, this guy has created around 100 backlogs for next 6 months or 1 year. And then every sprint, we will keep, okay, some user stories from this backlog pool. And then we will start developing those features and we will start delivering those features like this, right? Other than that, he's the only guy. This is a lot of questions people are asking that, okay, who sets the acceptance, okay, criteria? Who sets the acceptance criteria? Remember this thing, guys. Who sets the acceptance criteria for what? For each user story. For each user story. No dev, no QA. Obviously, it's not our responsibility to define the user story. It's product owner responsibility to set the acceptance criteria for each user story. User story means whatever the kind of feature you want to develop and all those things, right? This guy, I would say, chooses what and when to release. This guy will, okay, will say that, okay, yeah, what to release, when to release, how to release, okay, like this. So this guy will is important. This guy is a product owner actually. This guy will decide, okay, what to release, which bug we have to fix, and all those things, like this, right? So as I told you, it talks to different business holders and talks to engineering team, the development team, whatever. So right. So these are the different roles and responsibilities of the product owner over here, product owner, right? So the product owner, the typical agile product owner, what do you mean by this? This guy is user oriented, user centered, domain experts, basic knowledge on technology, and the business guy. So I would say if you write the typical, the typical characteristics, okay, characteristics of a PO, I would say this is agile PO actually. Okay, this guy is agile PO. This guy is having business mindset, right? This guy is having business mindset. Then user centered design mindset, like this. Okay, just please guys ignore the spelling mistakes, right? So user centered, like this. Other than that, this guy is a domain expert, right? Domain expertise. You should have a domain expertise if you really want to become a PO. If you're working in Uber, you should know how exactly mobility services and car services and share services, these things are working over there. And technology also. Then only this guy can create the user story, talk to the business holder, can give the timelines and everything because he understands the technology at least. Okay, a typical engineer and MBA guy, the best combination for PO. Okay, so technology also he should know, at least he should aware about it. So these are the different, uh, I would say, the features and characteristics of the product owner. Then we have a development team, right? What do you mean by development team, and what do you mean by in development team? We have dev and QA. I mean, I would say this is a development team, complete engineering team, right? So I would say dev and QA team, what exactly they will do. So dev and QA team, okay, what they do, they develop features. What if the features are defined in the form of user stories by, okay, product owner, whatever the stories are there, whatever the backlogs are there, they will, okay, pick, and then PO will say that, okay, hey, this is the acceptance criteria we have written, and then please start developing the features. And majorly these guys, dev and QA, they works within a sprint cycle, right? Within the sprint cycle. Sprint means, let's say 2 weeks of the sprint or 3 weeks of the sprint, we will take and we will pick, let's say 10 user stories or 5 user stories, and we will start working on it. We will develop it, we will test it, and then we will release it, right? So, so this is the concept of dev and QA team. They will work like this, and they will closely works with PO. Okay, closely works with the PO, and they discuss about what kind of requirement is. If they have any confusion in the requirement, if they want to know more about the feature, they will talk to the PO because PO is the right guy for them. What to do, what not to do, and PO, if it's still PO is not able to give the answer, then PO will talk to the business, get their get the get the clearance, get the whatever the confusions are there, whatever the understanding they need to improve, they will get it from the business holders and the stakeholders, and then the PO will deliver to the dev and QA. So dev and QA, they are not directly going to the stakeholders or business stakeholders. PO is going over there, right? So PO works, they work with PO very closely, right? Like this. So typically, it depends what kind of team structure is there. Typically, we have 6 members. Let's see, you have the 6 members are you have in that case. Let's see, 4 dev and 2 QAs. This is the kind of ratio in most of the companies generally we follow. Then what kind of our team, it's a completely dev team where we have QAs are there, we have dev is there. In dev also, we have, let's see, backend developers, we have UI developers, the front end developers, I would say the front end developers. They have architect, okay, they have architect, they have QA guy, right? They have, let's see, mobile developers, like this. They have automation QA folks. So all these are the part of the dev team members. So they are dev team members, right? Apart from that, they complete the development and the testing goals and other technical tasks to achieve the sprint goal. Okay, this is very important that, okay, we have 2 weeks of sprint, we have built 10 user stories. So to complete those 10 stories, we have to complete the development and the testing task and the other technical task, which is handled by this team, right? The engineering team or the development team. Development team, I would say dev and QA both, right? So I would say they completes uh, the development and the testing and other uh, technical stuff or other technical tasks are there. They will be responsible for that. Okay, so they will complete all these things. Apart from that, one important thing is they attend, okay, all the meeting and other activities of the Scrum or activities of the Agile. Apart from that, they gives, okay, these people, they give the status of the work on a daily basis. Okay, they give the status of the work on a daily basis, that what exactly you guys are doing, what are the different things you're developing and all those things. So this is a typical work of dev and QA team or engineering team, I would say. Make sense? Okay. So this is about the team structure, guys. This is how we have to work like that. The SM, Scrum Master, PO, Product Owner, Dev and QA or engineering team is there. Got it? I hope it's clear. Okay. Now I'll do one thing. Let me create one more notepad file. I mean one more, yeah. The diagram or the sketch notes. I'll write something for you. Then let's talk about what do you mean by artifacts. Okay, so what are the different artifacts are there? So next concept is the next section. We will talk about different artifacts. Okay, in Scrum. Okay, let me artifacts. So what are the different artifacts in Scrum? So the first artifact we will talk about, what do you mean by product backlog? Product backlog. Product backlog means it's a list of all the features that the product owner already created and wants to be delivered. Right. So I would say list of all the features that product owner, okay, collects all the requirement, all the information from the business stakeholders, and this guy will collect all the information and then it will store inside the product backlog like this, right? So this is something I would say. The product log means, let's see, there are 100 of requirements are there, right? 100 of requirements, so 100 of user stories I'll write in my backlog pool, and whenever it's needed I'll start picking those things, right? This is a typical sprint. In this, but let's see, in this we have so much backlog. This is a backlog pool, and from this particular pool I'll do one thing. I'll create one sprint cycle one from 1st January to, let's see, 15th of January for 2 weeks. And in this, let's say I'm going to pick only 3 user stories or 4 user stories. So these user stories are coming from where? Coming from this particular backlog, product backlog pool, and all these features are already defined, and one by one we will pick in sprint one. So let's say this is the sprint one, and sprint one is starting from 1st January to 15th January. We will pick and we will finish the development for these 4 stories, testing and deliver to the production like this, right? Then who will decide? The product owner decided, okay, what are the different things we have to pick from the product pool, from the product backlog, right? So the product backlog means a list of all the features where, okay, that the product owner wants to be delivered. So that we have kept it over here. Make sense? Okay. Now some more things. Product backlog means all the features that we are talking about. Apart from that, it should be public and easily available. First of all, should be public so that anyone can see that, anyone can plan that, okay, after 4 months or after 3 months, what are the different things we are going to pick, what are the different important backlogs are there, so that it should be public and it should be public and easily available. Okay, what else? The product owner should maintain the product backlog. This is his or her responsibility. Remember this thing. PO should maintain PO should maintain the product backlog. PO should maintain. It's not my responsibility. It's not dev and QA responsibility. It's product owner responsibility. Guys, remember this thing always, right? And then the product whatever the product backlog is there, it should have what all the user stories, and inside those user stories, it should contains the clear acceptance criteria, the complete references for if any document is there or any conference page is there, and any mock-ups and model diagram specifications and everything. Okay, so it should have proper acceptance criteria. It should have any other important pages and documents. Okay, pages are there. Pages means the conference pages or wiki pages are there. Documents are there. Okay, what are the different criterias are there for each and every user story and everything. If any model diagrams which we need to prepare, he has to prepare, and all those things, and the specification, requirement specification, and all those things, it should be maintained by PO. But this is the product backlog actually. Okay, this is the product backlog. Remember one thing, guys. Product backlog, it can be features, it can be defects, it can be technical work, or it can be any knowledge, okay, a document, or any kind of user story that you are going to create. So I would write one more point. Product backlog means, product backlog means is a pool of different pool of the features, I would say. Okay, pool of the features. It can be defects. Let's see, I raised 100 defects, or let's say I raised 10 defects. After 10 defects, PO says that, okay, hey, 5 defects are important, we will fix it. Then what about the rest of the 5 defects? Rest of the 5 defects will be moved to the product backlog, and then in future it will be fixed, right? So defects are there. Any kind of technical work, if any kind of technical work, or if we have to improve, we have to run some technical work or tech debt or something like this, all these things part of your product backlog. So defects are also part of backlog, and user stories are also part of the backlog. Got it? So this is about product backlog. Now let's talk about the sprint backlog. And the sprint backlog, what do you mean by sprint backlog? Let's see, current sprint is going on. This is sprint SP1. In sprint backlog, list of the tasks identified and prioritized by the sprint team to be completed during the sprint. So let's see, these are the 4 stories. This is called sprint backlog are there, right? So in this particular sprint one, we are starting from, let's see, 1st January, like this, 1st January to 15th January, for the 15 days or 2 weeks of, okay, we have 2 weeks. Let's see, I'm just giving some rough estimation, 2 weeks. And then within 2 weeks, how many stories are there? We have picked 4 user stories, right? And then 4 user stories will be called the sprint backlog. And sprint planning meeting, we will have some sprint planning. We will say that, okay, hey, these are the 4 user stories we will pick. Product owner is sitting with us, and then we will pick from where? We will pick from here, from the product backlog pool to the sprint backlog. So this is called sprint backlog, and this is called product backlog. Remember this thing, guys. And then we will have different statuses. Different status, like we have like this. We have to do. It means we have to complete this particular task. After to do, we have in progress, that development is going on. Okay, in progress. After in progress, we will say that, okay, yeah, this is, let's see, for QA review. And QA says that, okay, yes, everything is fine. then it will be marked as done. This is the one flow. Second flow, I would say, let's see, to do, and then after to do, then it will be in progress. After in progress, let's see, it's in QA review. QA says that okay, no, this is not completed. There is a bug in the application. Then QA again will make it to do or maybe open, and then again, what exactly they will do? It will be in development phase. In development phase. So these are different status we can maintain, and then again in development, and then again in QA review or something like this. You can write it like this. And QA review says okay, yeah, everything is fine, then done. Like this you can maintain. Right guys, so this is your sprint backlog. So this is the second concept, is called sprint backlog. Okay, yeah, so this is product backlog, and the sprint backlog is the subset of the product backlog. Product backlog is like so many things are there, but it's not like in every sprint only for 15 days, only for 2 weeks you cannot pick everything, right? You can pick only 4 or 5 stories, let's see, like this, right? Okay, then we have what are the different scrum events are there, that we talk about that. Okay, what are different scrum events? Event means what are different activities that you will perform. So then let's see, we will talk about different here you talk about the third thing is scrum events. What do you mean by scrum events? Scrum event means, let's see, we have sprint planning. Sprint planning means, sprint planning is a meeting for 2 to 3 hours, it depends. They are saying that okay, whenever we are creating this sprint one, right, we are working on this, what are the different features that we have to deliver. So we will sit with the team, and we will pick that okay, hey, this is what we have to be done, I mean, this is what we have to complete, all these things will be done, and how exactly it will be done. So we will do a sprint planning. So it's a collaborative effort. It's not like only done by Scrum Master and the product manager. No, we will sit together, but the Scrum Master will be involved, and the Scrum Master will initiate these kind of meetings. They will Scrum Master will sit together with all of them, and then Scrum Master say that okay, hey guys, let's decide what we have to do with that. How many story points you want to give, and how exactly can we take, instead of 4, can we take 2 more? If these stories are very simple, how much time you will take, what is the estimation, what is the different other activities you will perform, and all those things. So all those things you will decide inside the sprint, within the sprint planning meeting. If any acceptance criteria is missing, then immediately we will update the acceptance criteria. We will inform to the product manager in this particular team, in this particular event, that okay, hey, this is something missing, right? So we can tell all these complete planning, we can do that, right? So let's see, 1st January, the sprint will start. On 31st January, on 31st December, sorry, on 31st December, we will do the sprint planning. But okay, hey, tomorrow onwards, we are going to start the sprint planning. So these are the different things we have to be ready, right? So we have to be ready for all these things, and then we will create the sprint backlog properly. And from 1st January onwards, we will start the proper work on these sprint user stories. Got it? Like this. So this is about the sprint planning. After that, what we do? After that, guys, after sprint planning, we do daily scrum. Now, what do you mean by daily scrum? Daily scrum means daily meeting we are having, right? Where the scrum master is there, PO is there, and your dev team and the QA team, your engineering team is there. So it's a daily meeting actually. It's a, I would say, daily meeting. Daily meeting of the engineering team or dev and QA team. Meetings generally established at the same place and the same time in front of the Scrum board. Each day in the morning, they will open the Jira. They will say that, okay, hey, tell me, Naveen, this, you are responsible for this particular task. What is the status? So everybody will have 2 to 3 minutes of time to give the status, and then we will update the Jira task that okay, hey, this particular user story, let's see, is now finally in progress, or let's see in QA review. QA guy will say that okay, yeah, it's in QA review. I'll I'm testing it. and I'll be mark it to done or something like this, right? So in daily meeting, we will tell our status, what kind of work you are doing and what exactly you are doing, what exactly you have done in last 24 hours, what exactly are the things you are going to cover in next 24 hours, and all those things, guys. Okay, like this. And it's not a very rigorous meeting or something like this. It should be completed within 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, I would say it should be completed within 10 to 15 minutes. Right, this is important. It's not a daily meeting. And then you will tell, okay, hey, I'm blocked over here, so can you please, hey Scrum Master, can you please solve this problem or something like this, and you will tell the status, what is the testing status, what is the QA status, what is the dev status, how much time it will take, and all those things. But individually we will sit together like this, and then we will talk about it. So we will, okay, whatever. So we will sit together and we will do that. So all the people are sitting, everybody is getting around 5 to 10 minutes, I mean 2 minutes of time. 6 people are there. 6 people are there. 6 multiplied by 2, 12 minutes, not more than 12 minutes or 13, 14 minutes. That is more than enough. And the daily sprint meeting is over and then done. Okay. And then you stand up and then talk. That's why this is called a stand-up call also, right? We say that, okay, hey, I have a stand-up call. So this is called a stand-up meeting or a stand-up call. Okay, in some companies we say that, okay, hey, Scrum event or Scrum meeting, or I would say a daily Scrum meeting or a stand-up meeting or daily meeting, whatever you want to say, you can say that, right? So this is about the thing. Then we have another event is that is called sprint review. Now, what do you mean by sprint review? Sprint review, they will say that, okay, hey, the sprint is over, right guys? The sprint is over after 15 days. On 15th January, sprint is over. On 16th January, so duration of the sprint, let's see the sprint one, the duration of the sprint is, right, let's see, 1st to 15th January. See it carefully, guys, very important. And then on 16th January, we will have this sprint review process, in which sprint review, all the team, all the business stakeholders, they will sit with the product manager, and the product manager or maybe dev and QA team, they will give a demo. Okay, so I would say demo will be given, right? They will give a demo, and all the stakeholders, they will sit together and they will give the feedback that, okay, hey, maybe, yeah, absolutely great job, or maybe some feedback. Okay, hey, can you improve this? I didn't like this particular feature, or maybe we can add extra attribute, or maybe extra one more field we can add, and all those things. So you will give the demo whatever you have covered within from last 15 days in this particular sprint for these user stories, and you will say that, okay, hey, these are the known bugs, these are the bug fixes, and all those things that you have done, and then feedback will be noted down, and they will be used as the guidance for the next increment process for the next sprint planning that we can take it up, right guys? So this is something very important, that demo is important after what is the goal that you have achieved. Okay, so we will talk about it. Okay, what exactly the goals we have achieved. Okay, simple thing. Other thing is that, let's say you plan for 10 user stories, but you achieve only 7 or 8 user stories, means then you will say that, okay, hey, it's not like 100% things we have achieved. So it could be less than 100%, obviously less than 100%. It could be equal to 100%. Okay guys, it could be greater than 100% also, that you plan for 10 user stories, but within 5 days you completed all the user stories, but still you have one more week. Within 1 week you completed all the stories, right? Still you have another week. It's not like that, okay, you picked only 10 user stories and you covered all the 10 user stories within a week, but still you have 1 week of time, right guys? The second week of January that you have, in that case, again, I'll pick something from the pool and then I'll try to complete it. Means whatever you planned, you actually okay, achieved more than 100%, more than that. But sometimes it happens that, okay, that we got stuck somewhere, some because of some technical error, some technical problem, or maybe some development issue, or maybe some environment issue, or whatever, or requirements are not clear, or acceptance criteria is not that clear, maybe in the maybe in that case it could be 0% also. It could be 0% also, guys. In sometimes I have seen such kind of things also. So 0% also, okay, might be possible. So we'll discuss everything about in sprint review, what went, okay, how much things we have achieved and all those things.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, so that's all for this particular video. I'll prepare one more video, okay, okay, on the same, and then what are different other things are there, what do you mean by retrospective, what do you mean by refinement meetings and all other respects. So I'll prepare one more video, in which video we will discuss about more things, okay, what are different other things are there in Agile and Scrum. Okay, so I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching Naveen Automation Labs, guys. Thanks.